And we're back with a new episode of Talking with Doyle. I'm Huntre Keip, Representative Doyle Heffley, and special guest, Representative Donna Scheuren from the 147th District.
Montgomery County, correct?
Correct.
A little bit south of Carbon County.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a little bit west of New Jersey.
Correct. Keep
Correct.
going. And how much north of Philly? Take a guess.
I think in Carbon County, we consider Montgomery County Philly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
If anything below the Lehigh Valley, it's all Philly. It's all
Well,
the
in
south
my
end,
mind,
but-
I'm 40 minutes north of Philly.
Okay.
So there you go.
But well, Donna, first off, thank you for joining us here today on our podcast. And
I'm honored.
you should be. But we do want to talk a little bit about some legislation. You just sent out a co-sponsorship memo. I did co-sponsor that bill, and it's really becoming more and more of a hot topic as we're seeing, here incidents here in Pennsylvania. New York has had some terrible incidents as well as Philadelphia and across the nation with squatting.
Yes.
And if you could just talk a little bit about the co-sponsorship memo you sent out and what you're looking to do with this proposal.
Well, first off, thank you for having me on your show. And second, you're absolutely right. The topic of squatting is becoming very, very vital to every state to address it, because it's not just limited to one specific area, correct? So while Florida kicked it off, making it, the toughest bill so far,
Good Republican Ron DeSantis in
Good
Florida.
Republican Ron DeSantis kicked it off, and I venture to say, the bill I've proposed is even a little tougher. So Doyle, to be honest with you, I started getting phone calls to the office from homeowners, farmers, right? Because it's not just about the homeowners. We've got a lot of landowners in the 147th, and when you're monitoring 20, 30, 40, 50 acres, right? You've got barns on there, you've got a lot of land, and before you know it, you can't, you turn a blind eye and you've got squatters on all different parts of your property. So there was a video, I'm sure many of us are aware, of the illegal immigrant,
Yes.
trying to attract more immigrants to come to the United States after hearing how lenient the laws are for the homeowners. And it's a shame that we have to have incidents like that make us rally and go to bat and stick up for the homeowners, the taxpayers, the citizens, chasing the American dream and putting everything they've got into their valuable assets for them to be at risk.
One of the many things that makes Pennsylvania great and America great is the right for individuals to own property, private property rights. And that is something that's fundamental in the founding of our country, and it's something that's very important. So here you have taxpayers. They paid the mortgage. They pay the electric bill. They pay for the utilities, which, obviously with some terrible policies, our energy bills have spiked. We're going to talk about that on another show. But people are struggling to pay the bills, and they come home, and maybe they went on a vacation, or maybe they own a couple acres, maybe they own a farm. We all know how hard farmers work. And they find somebody illegally on their property. And now you have somebody who's illegally in the country broadcasting to folks back in his home country to come here to take advantage of property owners, the people that pay their taxes. To me, this is more than a party issue. It's not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is an issue of common sense. If you own a home or own your property, or if you're a landlord and you're leasing or renting property out, the people there have the responsibility to pay you for the lease because you have your bills to pay. But it's really about public safety and private property rights.
The laws that are on the books right now have a lot of red tape. Requires, the homeowner to take the squatter to court. People are mastered the ability to produce fake leases. The cops are caught in a quandary as to who the legitimate owner is. Although I will say, I think our officers, our state troopers, whoever is called upon, sheriffs called upon to rectify the situation, it's got to be pretty clear to them who is the rightful owner of the property. So my bill seeks to give the homeowner restitution and the police officer the authority in order to, justify the homeowner's concerns, cuts the red tape, allows them to make sign an affidavit that they are the rightful owner of the property, with retribution of criminal penalties if they're lying.
Falsify it,
If they falsify it, but the officer is able to act immediately on the affidavit, remove the squatter from the home, and put the homeowner back in. And with all the actions that we've heard recently in Philadelphia, where people are, paying money for them to get out of the house, where it's a money-making scheme, to the most severe circumstances, where the woman returned home from a vacation in Spain. And
this
was
in
murdered.
New York. And
was murdered. Immediately upon entering her own home, being caught off guard. So this is crazy. And I think, looking at it realistically, the cops want to do the right thing. So why not give them the power to be able to handle the situation, to be there for the residents that have been there for them? We're all about law and order. We're all about making sure our officers are taken care of and get the respect they deserve. So as that tide starts to turn and they see the community rallying for them, I think it's only natural that they want to be there for the homeowner that is watching their number one asset be destroyed in front of their eyes.
And home ownership is key. I mean, most people, that's their nest egg, right? A lot of folks, they're looking at their home as their nest egg. That's their biggest investment. And we want to make sure that they're safe in their homes. But it really goes beyond that. When you look at the illegal immigration, and people say, well, that's a border issue. In Pennsylvania, we are a border state when you look at how many illegal interactions we have here with people that are here illegally. And it's not just about stealing jobs. You look at the fentanyl crisis that has exploded through the illegal population. The fentanyl is coming into our country, is killing hundreds of thousands of people every year. And it's all being run for the drug cartels. And now those drug cartels and those people that are coming here illegal are saying, well, we're going to also train you on how to squat in a home and take residency from legal citizens. I couldn't imagine anybody, first off, to get into Canada or get to Mexico, you can't just walk across the border. You can't even just walk into Canada. And then to go into Canada or for American to go into Mexico and deal drugs and then squat in a home and take ownership, you would be in a Mexican prison for the rest of your life.
Correct.
And so, I mean, we're not looking. Look, we have checks and balances in our legal system, but what we're looking at is fairness to the homeowners. Americans deserve the respect to that law. If the laws are broken, there should be recourse for them. And that's really what your bill does. It takes it to that next level. And
right.
This is common sense.
Puts the police on the homeowner side. It also allows the homeowner to seek restitution for all the damage done by the squatter living in the home illegally. They get to go after them for the damage, as well as any kind of legal fees to go after them civilly. In addition, if they do $1,000 worth of damage to the home, it automatically becomes a first-degree felony. And in the last part of the bill, right, reports them to ICE.
Yes.
Because this is what needs to be done. And the motivation for this not only was my constituents calling in, but the realtor down in Florida testified, Doyle, in front of the State House in Florida and the State Senate. And the genius move that realtor did, she used every legislator in that chamber as her example. She said, all of you are here in the capital of Tallahassee, and all your homes are vacant. You come out here just like we do, right? 2, 3, 4 days, whatever we stay for session in Harrisburg. How would you like it for you to return to your district and somebody to know your schedule and know 3-4 days out of the week you're in the capital city serving as a legislator to find a squatter in your home? It was so powerful, it passed unanimously in the House and the Senate, which of course brings me right back to the co-sponsor memo where we started. Unfortunately, right now, all I have is Republican support.
Yeah, and why would not our Democratic colleagues who live in homes here and their constituents live in homes here want to sign on to a bill like this to protect their property owners in their district? It's beyond me.
Well, I will say, just yesterday, Senator Fetterman gave an interview to the New York Post, and this was one of the topics he chose to talk about. And he came right out and said squatters should have absolutely no rights in Pennsylvania, and we need to stop pretending that they do. For them to be in a home that is not legally theirs, why are we overlooking them breaking the law and using all this red tape, putting these homeowners through months or years of legal legislation to then be surprised when they finally get into their property to see $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 worth of damage done for what? Out of vengeance?
Yeah.
Because they were finally being kicked out. Let's leave our mark on this homeowner's property.
Leave it up to John Fetterman to be the voice of common sense in the Democratic caucus.
Well,
so I would challenge any of my Democratic colleagues, and you serve with many in Montgomery County, the leader
Yes,
in
I
the
do.
State House in Montgomery County, call up this bill. Let's give the homeowners of Pennsylvania the confidence that to know that they're secure in their homes.
Why wouldn't we? We argue about so many things on the House floor, Doyle, and we have a chance to help everybody in the city, in the suburbs, in the rural areas to protect their valuable assets.
So I would encourage anybody that is watching this podcast, contact your legislator
Yes.
and see if they've co-sponsored onto the Scheuren bill to ensure that homeowners are safe in their homes.
Homeowner Protection and Squatter Eviction Act.
I like
Let's
it.
make it happen.